Bath Easton Primary serves a village and rural community near Bath. The school has 215 pupils, including 13 children with statements of special educational need. Making adjustments to support one disabled pupil 11 years ago inspired the school to work towards an ethos which celebrates diversity and welcomes all pupils. Over the last 11 years, the school has developed a whole school environment which supports staff to make reasonable adjustments.
I have to say that although you do pick up specific skills that help you with individual children and you get bits of training, and more important than that really I think is attitudes. And you could have all the support in the world. If your attitudes aren't right about it, it's not going to work. And we welcome diversity and we make sure that we model that for the children. What we always say is that you don't come to this school and fit into it. The school is continually developing around who's here. And there's a very, very positive feel. And I think if you've got to make an environment conducive to making children who have real difficulties feel that they're valued and they're taking part and that they're contributing, then obviously all the children who are less needy are well inside that. And so you get a sort of an ethos where everybody's active and everybody's supporting each other and very friendly.
At Bath Easton, staff work to provide a rich and wide curriculum.
The advantage of having a wide curriculum is that it obviously gives children a wider range of opportunities to succeed in. That's important for everybody, but particularly for children who have significant needs. It's a way of helping the other children to see that they are rounded too, that they might have a very specific and quite profound need in one way, but they have all sorts of strengths and talents in other ways. The other thing that I think is very important in making it all work is the children's attitudes. We've worked on different ways of developing what we think are appropriate attitudes for this sort of environment. And we've finally come up with something that we find really, really works, which is called a values curriculum. All it means is that all the children in every class, 4-year-olds up to 11-year-olds, focus on a different value for half a term a year. And it's a rota that goes round. The first term, everybody looks at empathy. We feed it through assemblies and it comes into all sorts of discussions, and it's basically just a focus over the top of everything each half term.
In addition to empathy, the values curriculum also explores race, gender, ageism, poverty and privilege, and disability.
But the hardest thing is what to do to sort them out.
The school has developed peer support, and Year 6 pupils are mentors for Year 1 pupils during the infant break time.
We sort of play with them and we look after them and make sure they're happy and playing with their friends.
Get to play with them and teach them things that they don't really know. You get to interact with other people that you don't really play with.
Bath Easton has a rota of playground monitors and a friendship bench. This helps to structure peer support and provide a friendlier place for disabled children.
What's your favourite colour?
The facilitation of peer support throughout the school is viewed as essential to the making of effective reasonable adjustments. Jack has attention deficit disorder and had challenging behaviour when he started in Year 3. Other pupils' understanding of his impairment and his needs have really helped him to manage his behaviour and to develop his learning skills.
I wasn't very good on doing my work. I just acted really
Silly.
yeah. And also at playtimes everybody played with me, and it was really fun. And even though sometimes I played really lively and boisterously and things like that, and I think I've got a bit better at that now.
It's very important to use the whole class in terms of supporting Jack. Lots of things we did. We had lots of different charts, but they needed to be changed on a regular basis according to what his needs were. So it might be, in terms of physical, in terms of, hitting out. So it was all to do with being calm. Jane as well, his LSA would often be on call, so we have a warning system. He would have time out. One of the biggest turning points for him is for his reputation, because obviously it's really important to protect the child's reputation. So if he'd had a difficult day, always at the end of the day, I would sort of say something like, how far has Jack come? What have you noticed? You might have had a difficult day, but what have you noticed that he may have found difficult before, but has really tried hard and improved on today? So the rest of the class were going off with this positive image.
This is what I wrote. I'm really glad I came to this school. All the teachers and Jackie were really pleased I came too. And the children around me tried hard with me and with my difficulties, and that helps me control myself and try to work hard.
At Bath Easton, with the exception of literacy and numeracy, all areas of the curriculum are delivered through themed work. In the afternoons, a rotation system is used. This year's 6th class is split into 3 groups. Each group works on art, textiles and science in rotation. Each group includes a disabled pupil, and the groups are supported by Chris, the class teacher, and a teaching assistant. This adjustment allows for targeted and intense work with small groups. Jack has benefited enormously. When Jack first started, his concentration was limited to 2-minute tasks. Now in Year 6, he is able to concentrate, and he is a confident and supportive member of the class.
He's just smiling more. He used to be quite an unhappy child when he arrived, and now he's got a responsibility of all sorts of special friends, duties, running drawing club, and he's just changed in character. Academically as well, of course, he's improved.
How do staff at Bath Easton group pupils to ensure that reasonable adjustments can be made for disabled pupils?
I'd say that all the teachers here work in very different ways during the week. Sometimes they'll have children in achievement groups, sometimes they'll have them in supportive pairings, other times they'll have them in friendship groups according to what sort of activities you're doing. To teach well in an inclusive environment, it's really the same as being a good teacher anywhere.
It's not just about disabilities, it's about different races and different beliefs.
The inclusion here is just amazing, and special friends and friendship monitor, it's really good.
The thing about this school is a lot of people think that maybe people like Amy and Jack, we should be helping them all the time, but a lot of the time they help us with things we find difficult.